Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the clutter and, well, pull out the key insights you actually need. Get you informed fast.
Exactly. And today's mission is pretty fascinating. It actually comes from your own work, your thesis notes.
That's right.
We're exploring the link, maybe a surprising link, between Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power and Wallace D. Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich.
Yeah, it's an intersection I've been looking into. We've got the notes here. And the goal is really to synthesize these two. Well, they seem quite different on the surface. We want to see how Wattles' abundance mindset can reframe Greene's ideas about power and getting ahead, especially thinking about your need for flexibility, openness to opportunity, and definitely avoiding that feeling of information overload.
Right. And what's really interesting, I think, is how this blend might lead to using Greene's laws in a more empowering way, maybe even a more, dare I say, expansive way.
Expansive? How so?
Well, shifting away from just pure strategy, which some people read as manipulation,
Yeah, that's a common critique.
towards something that actually emphasizes mutual growth, harmony even, in the long run.
Okay, let's unpack that core idea then.
Yeah.
Your thesis, as I understand it, suggests Wattles' belief in infinite abundance, this idea that there's genuinely enough to go around.
Yeah, that the universe isn't a zero-sum game.
Right, that can be like a new foundation for understanding Greene's laws, like using the same tools but for a different, maybe better purpose.
Precisely. Instead of seeing the laws as just tactics for a win-lose fight, the abundance view suggests you can apply these principles in ways that ultimately could benefit everyone involved. It's moving from fighting over slices of a limited pie to, well, figuring out how everyone can bake more pies together.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's take Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Greene's point is clear. Don't cut yourself off.
Right.
So how does adding this abundance lens change how we see that? What's new?
Well, the proactive bit really stands out with abundance. It's not just passively avoiding isolation because it's bad. Believing in abundance actually encourages you to actively share your resources, to build connections. A leader thinking this way knows their success isn't just them, it's tied to how strong their network is.
So sharing knowledge, opportunity.
Exactly. Even capital. You foster this richer ecosystem because you believe there's more where that came from. It's not just avoiding the negative, it's actively building the positive, that interconnectedness.
That really does reframe it. Not just defense, but building something bigger. Okay, what about Law 19? Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. How does abundance shape navigating those key relationships?
If you start from this idea of a world full of opportunities, then knowing who you're dealing with becomes less about tiptoeing around threats.
Yeah, less about fear.
Right. And more about strategically seeing where the real synergies are. It's about recognizing someone's unique strengths, their influence, and figuring out how collaboration could open up new paths for both of you.
So valuing their influence not because you're scared, but because you appreciate what they bring to the table in this abundant world.
Exactly. You see their power as part of a bigger resource pool you can potentially tap into respectfully.
Now, Law 20, this was one you specifically flagged. Do not commit to anyone. That sounds, well, a bit flaky on the surface. How does abundance change that?
Yeah, it raises a really interesting question about commitment, doesn't it? An abundance mindset doesn't mean be unreliable. Not at all.
Okay.
It's more about keeping a certain strategic flexibility.
Yeah.
If you believe there are tons of possibilities out there, you recognize the best path might not be obvious right away. So by not locking yourself into exclusive commitments too early, you stay open. Open to potentially better, more fruitful opportunities that might pop up later. It's optionality, but driven by optimism, not mistrust.
So keeping your options open because you trust more options will appear in this abundant landscape rather than just hedging your bets defensively. Okay, let's look at Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. That one definitely feels manipulative.
It does, yeah. So one of the ones people point to.
How can abundance possibly alter that approach?
Oh, this is where Wattles' Law of Abundance offers a really powerful counter-narrative. Instead of pretending to be ignorant to trick someone,
Right.
it encourages approaching things with genuine curiosity, a real willingness to learn. If you truly operate from a place of there's enough for everyone, the need to outsmart or deceive someone, it diminishes.
So seeming dumber becomes...
It becomes about fostering open communication, maybe creating a space where real insights, new ideas can come out because you're collaborating, not trying to exploit someone's blind spot.
That's a huge shift. From individual gain through trickery to maybe collective growth through genuine talk. Okay, Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. How does plenty affect how we view surrender?
It's fascinating, actually. Believing in abundance totally changes what yielding means. If you're confident that opportunities, resources, they're plentiful,
Yeah.
then strategically surrendering on one specific point isn't defeat. It's more like a calculated step back to get a better position later on.
A tactical retreat, almost.
Kind of. Knowing there's always more to gain lets you compromise, make concessions without feeling like you've lost something essential. Often, that builds trust, strengthens the relationship, and leads to, well, more abundant results for everyone in the end. It's a move from strength, really. Optimism.
Right, not admitting defeat, but repositioning within a field you see as rich with other options.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Seems practical. How does abundance make this more effective?
Well, the abundance mindset just amplifies the power of focus. If you believe you have access to plenty of resources, your time, energy, skills, your network support, you actually become more selective about where you point them. Instead of scattering your energy, driven by FOMO, fear of missing out on limited chances.
Right, the scarcity mindset.
Exactly. You can confidently zero in on the things with the highest potential for real growth, real impact. You feel secure that your basic needs are covered and, other opportunities will keep showing up.
So laser focus comes from confidence, not fear. Confidence that you won't be left out elsewhere. Okay, Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Green talks about navigating social hierarchies.
Yeah.
How does abundance reshape that courtly dance?
It reframes playing the courtier completely, I think. It shifts from strategic manipulation or, flattery to get ahead to genuinely valuing and supporting the people in your circle. When you see social connections themselves as abundant resources, you naturally want to cultivate real, mutually beneficial relationships.
So less hierarchy climbing, more network building.
Exactly. Instead of seeing every interaction as a game to win by being clever, you focus on creating an environment where people feel valued, empowered, because you believe that collective success ultimately creates more abundance for everyone.
Building genuine social capital based on respect, not just playing a role.
Okay, let's pull back a bit. We're seeing a pattern here. Abundance often turns these seemingly self-serving laws towards collaboration, growth. Can you give us a sense of how this plays out more broadly, maybe grouping some other laws?
Absolutely.
Sure.
You see this shift from scarcity to abundance thinking running through so many of them. Take the laws around reputation, for example.
Okay.
Instead of building a scary reputation to keep rivals away, which comes from thinking resources are limited, right? An abundance mindset encourages building a reputation for, say, generosity, collaboration, which naturally attracts more opportunities, more allies.
Interesting.
Or laws about strategic action. Instead of being just about your own advancement, maybe at someone else's expense.
Yeah.
They become about finding and chasing opportunities that create value for your whole network. It's that rising tide lifts all boats idea, but applied strategically. Okay, that really clarifies the connection. It's not just tweaking tactics, it's like installing a whole new operating system based on limitless potential. So what are the maybe core principles that emerge when we blend green and wattles like this?
Yeah, a few key things really stand out. First, definitely that shift from a defensive, scarcity-driven way of thinking to a proactive, abundance-focused one. That's huge.
Right.
Second, the emphasis on building real, mutually good relationships rather than just transactional or, manipulative ones.
Okay, genuine connection.
Third, focusing on long-term, sustainable growth instead of just short-term wins that might burn bridges.
Sustainability. Makes sense.
And finally, maybe underlying it all is this deep belief in your own value and in the, limitless possibilities out there. That belief fuels how you act and how you interact.
Those are really powerful takeaways. It's fascinating how this abundance lens transforms what can look like cynical power, moves into strategies for, collective success.
It really does offer a different perspective.
So, for you listening, navigating your own complex situations at work or, wherever, think about how these reframed laws might offer a path to influence and success that feels more sustainable, maybe more rewarding even.
Yeah, which principles resonate? Is it the power of genuine connection, that strategic flexibility we talked about, or just cultivating that core confidence that comes from an abundance mindset?
Which ones hit home for the challenges and opportunities you're facing right now? It really is a whole new way to think about power.
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.